Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stand before you with a very important topic, and the name of the topic is Pandita Ramabai's views on gender. And this topic, Pandita Ramabai's view on gender, is observed in paper number 14 of 6th semester, and the name of the paper is Modern Indian Political Thought. And I want to inform my viewers that in my channel more than 400 videos are found which are related to plus 2 first year to plus 2 second year political science, plus 3 first semester to plus 3 6th semester political honors, and many videos relating to environmental studies of plus 3 first semester, which is common for plus 3 first semester arts, commerce and science. And I want to inform my viewers that my channel name is @Dilip Kumar Pal 9375. If you will search in Google, all my videos will be available. Again, on any topic you want, you may just write my name, Dilip Kumar Pal, and the name of the topic. In YouTube, I think videos of Odia and English will be available. And I want to inform my viewers that if you have subscribed my channel, it is alright, so that benefit will be yours. And those of your friends who are in above class, aware them about this channel so that at least some students in some way will be benefited, because a little help to anybody, be sure that the help will not go in vain, rather the help will come back to you maybe in future. So today we'll take off Pandita Ramabai's view on gender. Gender means sex-based work. What he told about sex-based work in general and women in particular. Let us start. What was the view of Ramabai on gender? Means sex-based work, or specifically for women. Let us start. Pandita Ramabai, who was born in 23rd April 1858 and died in 5th April 1922, was known in many names like Pandita. This title was given to her in 1878 by Calcutta University. She was given another title, Saraswati, Goddess of Learning, in 1878 again by Calcutta University. And Kaisar-e-Hind, this title was given in 1919 by British government, was the first Indian feminist. So, Pandita Ramabai, who was born on 23rd April 1858 and died on 5th April 1922, was known in many names, was known in many titles. She was known in the title Pandita. It was given by Calcutta University in 1878. She was known in the name of Saraswati, Goddess of Learning, in 1878, again by Calcutta University. And she was also given a title Kaisar-e-Hind in 1919 by British government, was first Indian feminist. She devoted her life for upliftment of women, and some books like Three Dhamma Niti, it was published in 1882, Cry of Indian Women, it was published in 1883, and The High Caste Indian Women, it was published in 1887, and a Marathi book, United Strategy, Lokesthiti, आणि प्रभास ब्रिटा. So, Pandita Ramabai was the first Indian feminist. She devoted her life for the upliftment of women. Even she wrote many names. Even she wrote many books for women, like Three Dhamma Niti, it was published in 1882. Cry of Indian Women, it was published in 1883. Three Dhamma Niti in 1882. Cry of Indian Women in 1883. The High Caste Indian Women, it was published in 1887. And a Marathi book, she also published a Marathi book for women. The other book is United Strategy, Lokesthiti, आणि प्रभास ब्रिटा. She wrote a number of books for the development of women. She formed Arya Mahila Sabha in 1881 and Sarada Sadan for the development of women. So, not only she wrote many books for the development of women, but also he formed some organization for the development of women, like Arya Mahila Sabha in 1881, Sarada Sadan for the development of women. Among her precious views, her view on gender was very important. She delivered a lot of valuable ideas. Among these, her view on gender was a very precious one. So what she told on gender or sex-based work in general or women in particular? What she told for women? Status of Indian women during the time of Ramabai. During the time of Ramabai, what was the status of women? We'll know. After that, we'll know what she told for the development of women. So first of all, we'll take up what was the status of women during the time of Pandita Ramabai. Number one, feeling of Sobhagyavati, blessed women idea in past. In the past, there was a feeling, there was an idea, feeling of Sobhagyavati or blessed women. Who was Sobhagyavati? Who was blessed women? So at the time there was a feeling of Sobhagyavati or blessed women idea. So what was this idea? In the past, that woman was regarded as Sobhagyavati, whose husband was Elif and a mother of sons. A woman who had no son and children and a widow was inhumanly treated. At that time, during the time of Ramabai, that woman was treated as Sobhagyavati, whose husband was Elif, or she had a son. But any women who had no son, no husband, no children were inhumanly treated. Number two, inhuman status to widow. At the time, widows were forced to wear plain borderless sari, no ornaments, had to shave her head, which had to be carefully covered. They were forced to sleep on floor, spend time in rituals, acts, and take little food. During the time of Ramabai, widows were inhumanly treated. They were forced not to use ornaments. They were forced to use borderless sari, plain borderless sari, and they were forced to shave their head, and the head must be covered carefully. They were forced to take a little food. They were forced to sleep on floor, and they were forced to carry out ritual acts. So at the time, widows were inhumanly treated. Number 3, secondary status to women. Women were not treated at par with men and were given secondary status in society. At the time, women were not treated at par with men, rather women were given a secondary status. They were considered as inferior in comparison to men. 4th, denial of rights to women for public activities. Women were forced to remain within 4 walls of house. Girls were taught to do household works at a tender age, 9 to 10 years, so that they will be trained for future work of women. At the time, denial of rights to women for public activity. At the time, women were not allowed to go beyond 4 walls of the house. They were forced to remain within the 4 walls of the house. And girls of the age of 9 to 10 years were trained in household works so that they will be fit to perform the work of household in future. So at the time, women were forced to be confined within the 4 walls of the house. 5th, prevalence of patriarchy system and oppression of women. At the time, patriarchy, where father is the head. At the time, patriarchy system was prevalent, where women were confined with the role of a wife, mother, and a housewife. At the time, there was patriarchy system, means where a male member must be the head. And in that patriarchy system, women were forced to perform the role of either the role of wife or mother or housewife. So in the patriarchal system, women were oppressed or tortured. So these were the conditions of women during the period of Ramabai. But for the development of women, what Ramabai told? Number 1, Ramabai's views on gender. What she told for the development of women. Demand for women's education. She demanded for women's education. She demanded to give girls education so that girls can be at par with men and will be conscious about dominance of Brahmanism and different type of oppression towards them. She argued to give girls education so that girls will become conscious about oppression towards them. They will be conscious about the dominance of Brahmanism. So she demanded in 1882, before Education Commission, to give priority to women education, that too by women teachers to girls. She viewed that for girls, education is necessary. Without education, girls cannot be at par with men. So he argued for the education for girls, and that too by girls teachers. It means girls teachers should give education to girls, and he demanded for girls education and education by girls teachers to girls before the Education Commission in 1882. She viewed that so long as girls will not have education, they cannot be at par with men. Number two, demand for marriage by choice. She demanded the system of she discarded the system of forced marriage, rather marriage by choice. She pointed out that marriage should be made by choice, not by force. Number three, women are not servants of husbands, rather their companion. She viewed that women are not servants of their husband, rather their companion. It means she stressed for their equality. Ramabai viewed that women are not servants of their husbands, rather their companion. It means she argued for the equality between men and women. Fourth, demand for gender equality. She viewed that both men and women are human beings. So no one is superior or inferior. They should be equally treated. He viewed that both men and women should be treated equally. They are all human beings, so they must be given equal treatment. Fifth, demand for women physicians for women. She viewed that women's problem can be solved in a better way if for them women physicians will be appointed. She argued that for women there must be women physicians so that women can express their problem without any hesitation. 6. Demand for special care to widow, sexually assaulted women, blind and old women. She demanded to give special treatment to sexually assaulted women who are sexually tortured, widow, blind women and old women. She wanted to give special treatment to all these women who are in problem, like old women, widow, blind women and sexually assaulted women. She demanded to give special care for women of above category. For them, she formed Sarada Sadam in 1889 to make women self-reliant through weaving, dairy farming, cooking and gardening. She wanted to give special treatment to old women, blind women, sexually assaulted women and widow. And for their upliftment, she formed an organization, Sarada Sadam, in 1889, and trainings were given to women in Sarada Sadam in the field of weaving, dairy farming, cooking and gardening. Then, demand for civil rights. She demanded for basic humanitarian rights for women so that they can lead a respected life. She demanded basic humanitarian rights for women so that they can lead a respectful life. Then, demand for gender justice. She protested against various types of injustice towards women, like preventing from education, widow remarriage, public participation, secondary status in family. At the time, girls were prevented to have education, they were prevented to participate in public life, they were prevented, there was a restriction for widow remarriage, and women were given secondary role in society. So, Pandita Ramabai wanted to give those privileges which men were enjoying. Voice against child marriage. She voiced strongly against giving marriage to girl child, particularly in tender age. She protested against the practice of giving girl child marriage at an early age. 10. demand for widows' right in their husband's property after remarriage. She demanded to give widow share in their husband's property after remarriage. She pointed out that after remarriage of widow must be given the property right from their husband. Means even if widow will remarry, widow must be given a share in the property of their dead husband. Then, if effort to convert status of widow from burden for society to economic contributors. She wanted to give a status to women from a burden to a contributor. It means by giving widow different type of engagements in society, she wanted to make them economic contributors of society from the status of burden to society. She wanted to give a status to women. She wanted to give a status to widow. She wanted to give that status to widow by which they can be contributor for society and they should not be considered as burden for society. Stress for education of high caste women. Girls of high caste society were fearing to have education for losing their caste. So Ramabai protested and argued strongly for their education. At the time, girls of high caste society were prevented to have education. If they will go for education, there is chance of losing their caste. So high caste girls were fearing to have education. And Pandita Ramabai argued for the education of girls of high caste society. Finally, demand for girls' education without caste discrimination. She wanted to give education to all girls without discrimination on the ground of caste. She wanted to give education to all girls without considering their caste. So, we have discussed in this video what were the conditions of women during Ramabai, and for the development of women, what steps she told. And in this video, I want to inform some important things that Ramabai's birth, 23rd April 1858, death 5th April 1922. Then Arya Mahila Sabha was formed in 1881. Sarada Sadan was formed in 1889. Then title Pandita was given by Calcutta University in 1878. The title Saraswati, Goddess of Learning, was given by Calcutta University again in the same year 1878. And the title Kaisar-e-Hind was given by British government to Ramabai in 1919. Then Sriti Dharmaniti, a book written by Pandita Ramabai in 1882. Cry of Indian Women, it was published in 1883. So in this video we have discussed in detail what were the views of Pandita Ramabai on gender in general and particularly for women. Thank you, my viewers. I want to inform you that if you will watch the whiteboard attentively, you can write down notes, or if you listen me also, you can write down notes. I request my viewers to make best use of this channel. Thank you. Have a good day.